Hi everybody! Today is Sunday, April 19th, and I'm going to be talking about body image today. And this has always been a big concern for me. I have always felt fat. Even as a little kid, I always felt like I was fatter than the other girls. And it's sad to think about, it really is. But everybody's body structure is different and it's genetic. And we have no control as to how we are when we're born. And you can't really tell in the videos, but I'm actually 5 feet 8 inches tall. So I always felt like I was taller and I was bigger, and that's just how I always felt. And some people are naturally smaller. They're just more petite, and celebrities definitely don't help with this because they are all so incredibly thin. And I actually think that it might be unhealthy because it's their job to be thin. And granted, the camera does add weight and it does make you look bigger than you are in real life, but I just think that we all feel like if we don't look a certain way, then we're looked down upon, and I find that so sad. And I actually know people personally who have done very unhealthy things to be thin, and that's very sad. And I'm Italian. I've talked about this in a lot of my videos, and in my family, food is synonymous with love. So if you love someone, then you make them a big plate of pasta. And that's just how it is. I mean, food is what we do. We eat at family events. And like at Christmas and Easter and different functions, months go by and we plan, you know, who's going to bring what. And that's just how it is in my family. That's all I knew growing up. But I always felt like I was fatter than the other people my age. And I thank God every day for the things that I do have, because I know that I'm so lucky in so many ways. I count my blessings and I thank God for the things that I do have. But it's just really difficult because I think that society puts so much pressure on people to be thin. And when you have MS, it's challenging. It is so much more challenging to be thin when you have MS and you have a body like I do that's not naturally small. But my relapse really changed everything for me. In all good ways. I'm like caught up on what I'm saying, but it's true. If you saw my videos, you know that during my relapse, I couldn't walk, I couldn't see because I had double vision, and I couldn't exercise. And that was really devastating for me. But even with MS, even while having MS, I still took things for granted. Like reading. I couldn't read during my relapse, and that was devastating. Writing. My writing was so shaky from my tremors that it was illegible. Walking, I couldn't walk. I couldn't exercise. I couldn't talk because my voice was so shaky that it was, I struggled from just talking, and it was awful. Now I appreciate everything. And I've realized during all of this that I gain weight when I'm depressed. I have gained weight 3 times in my life from 3 devastating situations. The first time was when I was in high school when my symptoms started. I had gained weight because I was depressed since I didn't know what was happening to me. And then after I got my diagnosis, I gained weight again because I was depressed from getting diagnosed with MS. And then I also gained weight during my relapse because not only was I depressed because I couldn't do anything really, but I didn't know what was happening to me, and it was really scary. But I looked up what MS patients should be eating, if there's a specific diet that MS patients should be on. And I actually found this information from TySabry.com. I went to a few websites, but this information I thought was really helpful, so I thought I would share it with you and just talk about what I happen to agree with. And it says, if it's good for your health, it's probably good for your multiple sclerosis too. That's why diet and exercise play key roles in living well with MS. Nutrition and eating habits affect people with MS the same way as those without MS, but people with MS have a lot more to deal with, as we all know. That's why it's important to develop healthy eating habits and stick with them. MS is unpredictable, but what you eat is something you can control. But sometimes I can't control eating chocolate or desserts or sweets because I love them so much. And you know, like, it's one thing, it's important to be healthy and it's important to eat the right foods, but life is short and I'm going to enjoy it as much as I can. I have so many limitations as it is that I'm going to eat what I want when I want it in moderation. I think it's important that we remember, I mean, eating healthy is so important, but if you want to eat something that might be a little bit more unhealthy, just eat in moderation. Don't go crazy, because then you'll be fine. Exercise and you'll be okay. An important goal for all of us is to maintain a healthy weight. This is simple in theory, but not always easy in practice. What you need to do is the same for everyone. Watch your calories and exercise regularly. Calories are a measure of the energy in the foods we eat. The calories we use fuel our bodies. Making healthy choices isn't always easy. That's because food isn't just about nutrition. It's also about emotions, culture, relationships, and lifestyle. And that's what I talked about with my family. And food is so important in our family, and we cook things that maybe aren't the most healthy things for you, but we only do that for special occasions, like for holidays. And I try to eat in moderation, but I'm still going to eat what I want because I'll exercise even twice that day if I have to. But I want to eat the foods that I like because life is too short. It is really difficult to be disciplined because we need food to survive. Food is something that it is so hard to control eating healthy foods all the time, because there are those times where you want to have food that isn't healthy and does taste good, but we have to have food to survive, and that's why it makes things so difficult. There have been many different multiple sclerosis diets that claim to treat or even cure multiple sclerosis symptoms. The truth is that the proof that they work is very limited. Most have not been carefully tested in controlled studies. The few that have been tested have produced mixed results. So it may work for some people and it might not work for others. Be careful of all special diets, not just ones that claim to help with MS. A diet may be popular or receiving a lot of attention in the news, but that doesn't mean it's good for you. Some special diets may be harmful because they include amounts of certain vitamins that could hurt you or exclude important nutrients. And I think it's really important to talk about vitamins with your neurologist or your family physician, because me personally, I take a multivitamin every day and I take extra vitamin D, and that's something that I talked about with both of my doctors, and they agreed that eating healthy foods, exercising, eating what you want in moderation, and taking a multivitamin and vitamin D is the best thing for me. It might be different for you, so you can talk to your doctor, but I think it's important to stay on top of it to try to be as healthy as you can be. Multiple sclerosis specialists recommended that people with MS follow the same low-fat, high-fiber diet that is recommended for people without MS. but you are unique, so always talk to your doctor before making any major changes in your diet. Exercise may be more difficult with multiple sclerosis, but there are ways to accommodate all ability levels. Many studies have shown that people with MS clearly benefit from exercise. Even people with advanced disease can benefit. People with MS respond to exercise the same way as those without MS. They become more fit. And I've been in both positions. I've been in the position where I am now, where I can exercise on the elliptical 30 minutes every day, but I've also been in the position during my relapse when I couldn't do anything. But I still made an effort to stretch my legs when I was in the hospital, in my hospital bed, stretching my legs. People probably thought I was crazy, but I wanted to make sure that I kept my muscles moving because I know that that is so important. So I hope that this video was helpful for everyone. I hope you're doing well, and I will be talking to you soon. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.